शिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। सुखं नित्यं स्वप्रकाशं व्यापकं नाम रूपयोः अधिष्ठानं बुद्ध्यबोध्यं बुद्धिर्दृप्यस्तु निर्मलम् अपारं सर्ववेदान्तवेद्यं प्रत्यक्परं महः तदेवाहं न मत्तोऽन्यदिति मे निश्चिता मतिः।
So we saw in yesterday's class the 48th khanda, where the Granthakara is dismissing the view of the Purva Pakshi that everybody is desirous of only Vishaya Janya Sukham. And it is said, Vaishayikam eva Sukham sarve abhilashanti iti etad asamanjasam. Everybody desires the happiness which is born of Vishaya alone. In this manner, what is said does not go well. Kim tarhi? Then what is the case? Sarve sukha samanyam icchanti. Everybody desires happiness in general. Taccha sukham vishayajanyam va astu tad itaradva. And that happiness means that happiness in general, let it be either born of the objects or let it be something else. And this is explained. Yadi vishaya janya sukham eva icchanti iti uchyeta tarhi sushupti sukhe na syad eva ichha kasyachit api vishaya janyatvat tasya. If it would be told that everybody desires the happiness which is born of objects alone, then even for anybody the desire with regard to the happiness of deep sleep would not be born. Why? Because tasya sushupti sukhasya, the happiness of deep sleep is having the status of not being born of objects. Ataha sukha samanyam eva sarve api icchanti na vaishayikam sukham eva iti niyamaha. Therefore, since this kind of deviation from the rule which the Purva Pakshi mentioned is seen, therefore everybody desires happiness in general alone. Vaishayikam sukham eva na icchanti.
न वैश्यकं सुखमेव इच्छन्ति इति नियमः. No?
Yes. And
you can make the sentence complete and say
yes. Yes, I would.
We also had little stops.
And yes, everybody desires happiness in general alone and does not desire the happiness which is born of objects alone. In this manner is the rule.
No, it is slightly different. And everybody wants happiness born of object alone. This type of rule is not there.
Yes.
Slightly different, no?
Yes.
So, Vakya will be what? Sarve वैषयिकसुखमेव इच्छन्ति इति नियमः न भवति.
Yes.
Slightly complicated sentence. Yeah.
Yes.
I also did first like what you did. So वो जो पीछे वाला vehicle होता है ना, एक वाला फ्रंट वाला रॉन्ग साइड में जाता है, वो भी रॉन्ग साइड है, फिर वापस आएगा. Now is it clear? Tell me. Yes. What?
Therefore, everybody desires happiness in general alone, and desires the happiness born of objects, and does not desire.
Tell me what.
So there are two sentences here. The first is Atah Sukha Samanyam Eva Sarve Api Icchanti. First sentence. Therefore,
what is the meaning?
Therefore, because of the Vichara it was shown, therefore, everybody desires happiness in general alone. And now, second sentence. You have to supply sir. Na vaishayikam sukham eva sarve icchanti iti niyamaha. Sorry, iti na niyamaha. Sarve vaishayikam sukham eva icchanti iti na niyamaha. That everybody desires objective happiness alone. In this manner, the rule is not there.
To make it easy, what we can do? Therefore, all wish the happiness in general alone, and there is no such rule. We can say like this, and there is no such rule that everybody desire the objective happiness alone. Is it clear? And now, currently, please tell me what you understood.
Therefore, everybody desires happiness in general alone, and there is no such rule that everybody desires the happiness born of objects alone. प्रत्युत सर्वेषां प्रत्यहं सुषुप्ति गमनात् स्वात्म सुखेच्छा एव जायते इति वस्तुस्थितिः. On the other hand, since everybody goes to deep sleep every day, therefore the state of the fact is that the desire for the happiness which is oneself, that alone is born.
What is born?
That desire is born.
Desire for?
Desire for the happiness which is one's own nature. And now in the next sentence, the Granthakara explains why Sushupti Sukham is equal to Swatma Sukham. Sukham aham aswapsam iti paramarshena निरतिशय सौषुप्त सुखस्य आत्मस्वरूप सुखत्वेन निश्चितत्वात्. By the recollection in the manner that I slept happily, there is ascertainment of the happiness born of, or the limitless happiness born of deep sleep, as the happiness which is one's own nature. And since this ascertainment is there, therefore Sushupti Sukham is Atma Sukham.
Can you explain this in a simpler manner? Yes. Sukham Swapsam Nishchitatvat, without translating idea.
Yes. So what here the Granthakara wants to say is that after waking up, there is this recollection that I slept well. And every recollection is based on some experience. Therefore, there has to be experience of happiness during that deep sleep. And since there is no other outside object which may cause this happiness in the deep sleep, therefore we understand that happiness which was experienced during deep sleep is is the nature of Atma.
And therefore what is established?
Therefore, this Sushupti Sukham is equal to Atma Sukham.
Therefore Sushupti Sukhecha is
Eight.
Atma Sukhecha.
Yes.
Up to this we have to break.
Yes.
Then
And now another point is highlighted by the Granthakara. Kincha तारतम्योपेतं वैषयिकं सुखं सर्वप्राणिनां सिद्धम eva. Moreover, the happiness which is born of objects and which is endowed with gradation is established for all the living beings.
that is what will be accomplished.
Yes. Yes, is accomplished for all the living beings. Means everybody has some kind of experience of Vaishayika Sukham. Ataha cha asiddhe nitya niratishayeika vida sukha praptau eva ichha naisargiki sarva praninam. Therefore, means since everybody has got this experience of Vaishayika Sukha, still there is a feeling of, or the feeling of fulfillment, complete fulfillment is still not there. Therefore, for all the living beings, the natural desire with regard to the attainment of the happiness which is non-accomplished, permanent, limitless, and uniform is there. Alone is there.
What is the idea conveyed?
So the idea is that everybody has experienced Vaishayikam Sukham. Still, there is some desire for some other happiness.
Means there is feeling of incompleteness.
Yes. And that shows that there is some desire for that limitless happiness.
Which is other than Vaishayika Sukha.
Sukham. Yes. Tadrisham cha sukham nitya siddhatma swarupa sukham eva. And that type of happiness means the happiness which is permanent, limitless, and uniform is the happiness which is the nature of the self, and the self which is ever established. So by this, the Granthakara wants to show that that kind of happiness has to be the Swarupa of the self, because since the desire is for Nitya Sukham, therefore if there is any the desire, the Sukham is anything else like a Vaishayikam Sukham, then there has to be constant connection between the Vishaya and the Indriya, and that is not possible all the time. And all the time only the Swarupam is there. Therefore, it has to be Atma Swarupam. And that Atma also has to be ever established. Because if it is to be established, then anything which is established is subject to degradation. And therefore, it will not
Subject
be.
to disappearance. Subject to destruction. Yeah.
And therefore, it will not be Nitya. So the desire for Nitya Sukham itself establishes that Sukham is Atma Swarupam, and that Atma is Nitya Siddham. And Atma Swarupa Sukham evacha moksha na itarata. And moksha is that happiness which is the nature of the self alone and nothing else. Tasmad, therefore, sarve api mumukshavaha eva. Therefore, everybody is seeker of freedom alone. So thus the answer to the Purva Paksha was given. The Purva Paksha was saying that there is no seeker of freedom as per the definition of moksha which the Siddhanti had given. To that the answer is given that everybody is the seeker of freedom alone. Nasti eva mumukshuhu kaschidapi iti sahas matram. And any seeker of freedom is not there indeed. In this manner the statement is mere audacity. In the 49th khanda, the second akshepa is answered, which was raised by the Purva Pakshi. सति अपि मुमुक्षौ तस्य मोक्षग्रन्थे प्रवृत्त्यनुपपत्तेः तद् आरम्भः विफलः इति द्वितीयः अपि पक्षः न संगच्छते. Even though the mumukshu is there, but since there is untenability of activity of that mumukshu in the text related to moksha, means in this text which is Sanskrita Vichara Sagara, therefore tad arambah means granthasya arambah, the start of this text is vifalah, is futile. In this manner, the second view which was there, that also does not go well. Atra vadi prastavyah. In this case, or in this regard, the Purva Pakshi has to be asked. अस्मिन् ग्रन्थे मुमुक्षोः प्रवृत्त्य भावकारणं किम् अस्य ग्रन्थस्य मोक्ष साधनत्वाभावः. With regard to this, or whether the cause for the absence of activity of the seeker of freedom in this text is because of the absence of this text being the means for moksha, va or किं वा इतः अपि उत्कृष्टस्य साधनतमस्य ग्रन्थान्तरस्य सत्वम्, or whether there is existence of another text which is the best means or the most effective, yes, whether there is existence of another text which is most effective, being more better compared to this text. Yes, is there any other text such as Bhashyam or Advaita Siddhi and other texts which are better compared to this Sanskrita Vichara Sagara? Va or uta Vedanta Grantheshu yani sadhanani shamadhamadini uktani adhikari visheshana uktani samadhi samadhamadini uktani adhikari visheshanattvena तादृश शमदमादि साधन चतुष्टय सहितस्य ज्ञान संपादन योग्याधिकारिणः एकस्य अपि अभावः वा. And it is said, or whether the means which are told in the texts of Vedanta, such as Shama, Dhamma, etc., as the qualities of the adhikari, yes, as the qualities of the adhikari, of such adhikari, of even one such adhikari who is fit to attain the knowledge and who is endowed with sadhana chatushtaya sampatti, which are like that, starting from Shama and Dhamma, there is absence. And now the answer is given to each and every option that is given by the Siddhanti. So first it is said, na adyaha. The first option which is given is not correct. Why? Nahi granthaha moksha sadhanam. It is said that no text by itself is the means for moksha. Means the text itself does not give moksha. And therefore what you had said, or what the option was given, that grantha is having the abhava of being the moksha sadhana, is common to every text, and therefore it cannot be a reason to not start this text, because already the other texts were also started, completed, and they are safala also.
Yes. So तृतीय आक्षेपस्य समाधानम. We are seeing the topic of adhikari vishaye akshepaha. The objections regarding a qualified person. Is something like in the court, that so many stages they establish that this case is permissible. For that itself, so many days. The Jnanavapi, that case, it took so much time to decide whether this case is admissible or not. Days together. So here also, that whether adhikari for this Vichara Sagara is there or not, that itself is a discussion. Okay. So Tritiya Akshepa, the third Akshepa was that everybody wants Vishendriya Sanyogadanya Sukha, and that is not there in moksha. And therefore, nobody would have desire for moksha. And therefore, mumuksha is not there, therefore, adhikari is not there, anubandha is not there, grantharambha is vitala. For that, Siddhanti had asked the two things. What do you mean by this objection? When you say that everybody wants Vishendriya Sanyogaja Sukham, and which is not there in moksha, therefore mumuksha is not possible. By this, and Grantharambha is Nirarthaka, by that what do you want to convey? Two options were given. That do you want to say there is no mumukshu at all? Means nobody will have desire for moksha. Everybody is a Vishaya Lampataha. Means everybody is having the desire, craving for Vishaya only. This is what you want to say? Nobody will have desire. Like when we go to the market, the shop, no? When we see certain product, we will think, who will buy this? Such a horrible thing. But next time you go, it is gone. Swami used to say that when we go to the shop, some vegetable we don't like pumpkin or something. Huh? So we think, who will buy this? But next time you go, it is already full gone. All items gone. So Siddhanti wants to say that, do you mean to say that there is no mumukshu at all? Ki mumukshu eva nasti kaschidapi? Or mumukshu may be there, but mumukshu will not have the engagement in the text which you are going to write. So what do you mean to say? And for that first one, the first option, that mumukshu eva nasti, for that answer was given that everybody wants dukkha nivrutti, complete freedom from dukkha, and attainment of happiness. And that is what moksha is. Therefore, everybody wants moksha. May not be telling the word moksha, but really speaking, everybody wants this alone. You are saying there is nobody mumukshu. Nobody is mumukshu, you are telling. We are saying everybody is mumukshu. So Siddhanti's stand is other side. You say no mumukshu available. We say everybody is mumukshu. Only thing is not knowing that what he wants is moksha. For that he has to do some satsanga, he has to come to some classes to understand that what I am seeking in my life is moksha only. It is not that somebody, I want moksha, but my spouse doesn't want moksha. Therefore we have fight. No, everybody wants moksha. He or she wants moksha in an indirect manner. What he wants is moksha, but he doesn't know how moksha is possible. Therefore, he is trying in other method. In other ways, he is trying. She is trying. And therefore, everybody is a mumukshu. Therefore, is a one good side point is, we need not have pride to be a mumukshu. Everybody is a mumukshu. Alright. And then technically explain that everybody wants Vaishayika Sukha, that point which was raised by Purvapakshi. Vaishayikam sukham eva sarve abhilashanti, that is not correct. People want happiness. Whether it is born of Vishaya or it is born of Sushupti. I am watching some program in my video or on the mobile or whatever tab. लाइट चला गया तो बड़े सो जाते हैं कि उसमें सुनते हैं सो जाते हैं. So people want Sushupti Sukha also. And in fact, see, however much person enjoys, but time will come when we'll give up everything and he will go to sleep. Will it happen or not? One movie person watches, 2 movie watches, but time will come then he feels sleepy. Okay, now let me sleep. It will come. And therefore, you cannot say that everybody wants happiness from the objects alone. People do want happiness from Sukha, from Sushupti. So we should generalize it. We should put things in more fundamental way that everybody wants Sukha, not Vaishayika Sukha. You cannot say that everybody wants sweet dish only. You should say everybody wants tasty food. Sweet food, why should you put? There are people in our ashram, one person, he doesn't take, I give sweet, he doesn't take. So, you should say what? But people want tasty food. Don't say sweet food. You like sweet, therefore think everybody likes sweet only. आपको खाकरा पसंद है तो सबको खाकरा पसंद है. ऐसा नहीं होता है. So, Siddhanti is telling that you refine your thinking. You don't say everybody wants happiness related to the object. You should say everybody wants happiness. And most of the time people are after the objects because they have superimposed happiness mainly on the objects and therefore they are going for that. But it is not that they don't want other happiness. They want Sushupti Sukham also. And Sushupti Sukham is Atma Sukham because it is not coming from outside. Therefore, in your rule that everybody wants the Vaishayika Sukham, that rule is violated. Where? In the desire for Sushupti Sukha. So people do want Sushupti Sukha and Sushupti Sukha is Atma Sukha. Therefore we can say people do want Atma Sukha. And Atma Sukha is moksha. Therefore everybody wants Atma Sukha. And that Atma Sukha being moksha, everybody is seeker of moksha. Therefore everybody is mumukshu. And in fact we have seen another way also. Even this Vaishayika Sukham is really Atma Sukham alone. It is a reflected Sukha. And therefore what person everybody wants is to be comfortable with oneself, a non-demanding person. And therefore everybody is desirous of Atma Sukha, which is moksha. Therefore everybody is mumukshu. And therefore to say that nobody is mumukshu is audacity. Now, next, in the next avarta, Siddhanti is taking the second option. 2 pakshas were raised in the 47th. That kim mumukshu eva nasti kasyit. Whether any mumukshu itself is not there, that's what you mean. That was answered. How was it answered? Everybody is mumukshu. Second is that somebody can be mumukshu, but he will not be engaged in your text. For that second option, Siddhanti is asking. Sati api mumukshu, even though mumukshu is there, tasya moksha granthe, tasya mumukshoho moksha granthe pravritti anupapattehe. Since there is impossibility or untenability of the engagement of mumukshu in moksha grantha. In simple words, person wants moksha, but he may not be interested in your book. And therefore, don't write the book. That's what he wants to say. Tadarambaha vipalaha. Mumukshu wants moksha. And people do say this. He said, For moksha, what you have to do? You have to have self-realization. And where is self? Self is inside. Books are where? Outside. So how outside books can give you inside self-realization? That is one of the very popular objection. Therefore, he said these people who are studying Shastra, and writing notes and, talking and giving lectures and all this, by hearting and all, they are like, that lady who lost her needle inside her house and she is searching outside. You have heard this story, no?
Yes.
He said this all Vedantis who are studying Vedanta are exactly like this. Self is inside and they are reading the book outside. How outside book can give inside knowledge? We also think, and they tell the story. When you tell the story, it becomes very pakka in our mind. We are also that old lady. So one thing, I don't want to be an old lady. That's another problem. I don't want to do like that. So what you should do? You should be like, this yogi who is realized. You have seen Vivekananda's picture? It's how meditative. Have you seen any picture that Vivekananda is teaching Shastra? Have you seen any picture? No. What you see? Meditative. So, meditate. Meditate on the self which is inside. Somebody, when he hears this, today only you are telling the truth. So far you are bluffing now. Or that Puja Swami used to say very nicely. He said, you have a face. This face, if you want to see, can you see by your own eyes? You cannot see. How will you see? Your face is within you, is a part of you. How will you see? You cannot take your eyes out and put it down. Like some camera, folding camera. So we do detachable camera. So like that we cannot do. So we require what? Mirror. Mirror is outside you or inside you? Outside mirror you use for seeing this inside eyes, inside the body, part of the body. We mean inside this. So you use outside thing for knowing inside. So don't make a rule that for seeing inside things you have to use inside means only. No, we use even for seeing our liver etc. we use outside gadgets only. अंदर अंदर वैसा नहीं कि लीवर का रिपोर्ट हार्ट दे देगा हमारा लीवर में ये प्रॉब्लम ऐसा नहीं होता है otherwise we will do that. We will tell the message to heart. You just find out what is there. That's not happening. Outside gadget only we are using. So for seeing, even appreciating the nature of Atma, we require mirror-like scriptures. And we make a note here that even though we are looking at the mirror, but our tatparyam is not in seeing the mirror. When I am looking at mirror, my tatparyam is not seeing mirror. My tatparyam is in seeing my face. First time when we bought mirror, yes, that time our tatparyam was seeing in mirror. Whether quality is good, scratches are there or not, all this. But when we are seeing, when we are looking at the mirror, already we have put it in the bathroom or wherever, dressing table or somewhere. That time our tatparyam is what? Tatparyam means seeing the face, even though we are looking at mirror. I am looking at mirror, but I am seeing the face. And similarly, we are studying the Shastra, but our tatparyam is not studying in Shastra. Our tatparyam is in knowing myself, which is revealed by mirror-like Shastra. So that particular thing people don't know, and therefore they will say that even though somebody may be mumukshu, but may not be interested in your text. Why? Because text is not a means for moksha. So that objection is going to be raised by Purvapakshi. So Siddhanti is answering that. मुमुक्षो तस्य मोक्ष ग्रंथे प्रवृत्ति अनुपपत्तेः तदा आरब्धः विफल इति द्वितीय पक्ष अपि न संगच्छते. Siddhanta is saying that. Why na sangachate? Why doesn't he go well? For that, Siddhanti gives very elaborate answer. So first he says, Atra Vadi Prashtabhyaha. Here, Vadi, the opponent who is objecting that there can be a mumukshu, but mumukshu will not be interested in studying your book. To that person, we are asking this question. Aapko problem kya hai? Three options we are giving. So this mumukshu will not study the text. What could be the reason? अस्मिन् ग्रन्थे मुमुक्षोः प्रवृत्ति अभाव कारणं किम्? अस्य ग्रन्थस्य मोक्ष साधनत्वाभावः. Means mumukshu will not be interested in this text because this text is not the means for moksha. Is it what you mean when you say mumukshu will not engage in the grantha? Second is that since there is better text available, therefore mumukshu will not be available in your text. First is your text is not the means for moksha, therefore mumukshu will not be interested in your text. First. Second is your text may be the means for moksha, but there are better texts available which are means for moksha, more effective means for moksha. Therefore they will go for it. Why should they go to the inferior one when the superior is available? Third, Siddhanti is asking, do you mean to say that your text is very good? Purvapakshi may say, your text is very good. And it is equal to other texts also, maybe. Or it has some benefit. Your text also is the means for moksha. And it has got some advantages over other texts or equal to other texts. But there is no person who has got qualifications. Even though he may be having desire for moksha, but mere desire for moksha is not enough. Like I may have a desire to become a pilot, but I should have qualifications also. So, third option is that person may be having some desire for moksha, but in your book and in other Vedanta books also, always they write what? Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampradaya. Some people will put off with that. He said, what is this? I don't have this, so I don't go to study. In fact, some people they say, Swamiji, I don't think I am fit for Vedanta study because I don't have Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampradaya. Therefore, the third option is that people will not be interested in Vedanta Sagara book because the qualifications which are mentioned or heard in Vedanta Grantha is Shamadhamadi and people don't have Shamadhamadi. Therefore, even if they wish to get moksha and they know for getting moksha the Grantha is to be studied, but they don't find qualified. Then what? They will not be engaged. Like we want some product, but the price of the product is very high. So what? We don't apply for that. We don't order that. Similarly, your Vedanta Sagara may be a very great text or any other text may be very great, but the price they are asking for is very high. So many things we go to buy and we come back. Why? Our price goes back. वे तो सब्जी लेने जाके वापस आ जाते हैं चलो भाई आज कुछ वो जो है उसे चला लेंगे. So very price very high. So third option is that. So now all the three options are explored. Na adyaha. Adyaha means Vichara Sagara Grantha is not the means for moksha. That cannot be the basis for somebody not to get engaged in Vichara Sagara text. Means just because Vedanta Vichara Sagara is not a direct means for moksha and therefore mumukshu will not be engaged in Vichara Sagara book, that type of objection is not correct. Na adyaha. Why? Because grantaha moksha sadhanam na. Text. And what he means by text? Any text. Granthatvena grantha. Grantha samanyam. Any text is not the means for moksha. Why? Yataha, because tameva viditva atimrutyum eti ityadi pramanaihi jnanameva moksha sadhanam na anyaditi siddhantaha. So, grantha is not moksha sadhana. Text by itself is moksha sadhana, is not a moksha sadhana. Otherwise, what? You buy a text and you get moksha. Or you just read, do parayanam of the text and you get moksha. And that is not the case. Any text is not moksha sadhana. By itself, it is not moksha sadhana. So, getting the text, physically getting the text, orally getting the text, that is not the means. Why? Because jnanam eva moksha sadhanam. Knowledge alone is the means for moksha. Na anyad. Anyad means granthadi. Grantha etc. is not the means for moksha. And the grantha, the text itself is not knowledge. Text itself is not knowledge, and by knowledge alone the moksha is possible. Therefore, by grantha, moksha is not directly available. So not only, so Siddhanti wants to say, Nishchal Dasi wants to say, don't talk about Vichara Sagara, the granth which I am going to start. But any text is not moksha sadhana. Because moksha sadhana is dhanam only, not anything else. And how do we know? Yataha, since goes with the grantha moksha sadhanam na. Grantha is not moksha sadhanam because dhanam alone is a moksha sadhanam. How do you know this? Tameva viditva atimrutyum eti. By knowing that Paramatma alone, one goes beyond samsara, represented by death. Ati eti. Mrutyum atyeti. That is why ati and eti should be connected. Mrutyum atyeti. Having understand Paramatma as oneself, one goes beyond mrityu, death, which is a representative of samsara. Means only by knowledge this one gets moksha, not by the text. Ityadi pramanehi. By such pramana, by the means of knowledge in the form of Shruti Vakya, what is established? Jnanameva moksha sadhanam na anyaditi siddhantaha. This is the established conclusion. Siddhanta means established conclusion. So what is the answer given? That Purupakshi had said that your text is not the means for moksha, therefore mumukshu will not be engaged in your text. For that Siddhanta says, I am not claiming my text is moksha sadhana, but let me tell you that no text is moksha sadhana. If text itself is not moksha sadhana, if that is the basis, then mumukshu will not have activity in any text. Not only my text, any text. Why? Because jnanam alone is the means for moksha, which is established by Shruti, and not the text itself. Alright. Now further he explains Tacha Jnanam. So he now explains the role of the text finally. So even though text itself is not the moksha sadhanam, but text contributes to get the jnanam, which is the moksha sadhanam. Like a particular document is not giving you permission to go to other country, but the document will help you to get the visa, which will take you to other, which will give you permission to go to the other country. Similarly, the text itself doesn't give you moksha, but text will help you to get the jnanam, which is the means for moksha. That idea he wants to establish. Therefore, he elaborately explains how jnanam takes place. What is the place of Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasanam, etc. Tachya Jnanam. So, moksha is by jnanam and Tachya Jnanam. Tat refers to what? Moksha Sadhanam Jnanam. The knowledge which is the means for moksha, Vedanta Shravana Deva Jayate, is born of listening to Vedanta Vakya. Moksha Sadhanam Jnanam Vedanta Shravana Deva Jayate. Alright. Then Shravanam api Dividam. And the Shravanam is also two types. This is the speciality of Vichara Sagara. We thought only one type of Shravana. Shravanam means Shravana as types itself we did not know. So now Shravanam with Vividam, two types. And afterwards we'll add one more also. So Shravanam api dvividha. Shravanam also is of two types. Acha, what is the Prathamam? Prathamam Vedanta Vakyasya Shrotrendriyena Sanyoga Rupam. The first Shravana, first listening is in the form of Sanyoga, contact. Contact of what? Vedanta Vakya, the sentence of Vedanta, especially Mahavakya. And contact of Vedanta Vakya with what? Shrotrendriyena, with the organ of hearing. It's a very, very simple thing it has. The primary, the first Shravanam is very simple. What? Vedanta Vakya should be contacted with your organs of hearing. Bas, that is the Prathmik, that is the prime Shravanam. That is the first Shravanam. When you hear the sentence from the teacher, you are Brahma, Tattvamasi. You heard? You don't have hearing problem. Even if you have hearing problem, you are corrected by hearing aid. So, and your attention is there. You heard it. I am Brahman. When you hear, when teacher says you are Brahman, what do you understand? I am Brahman. So that is Prathamam Shravana. Very easy, but you have to just lend your ears. Teacher is telling you are Brahman, you lend your ears. That's all. Your mind is available fully. You are not thinking of lunch or something. Even though it is 12:20. So that's what. This Vichara Sagara, this is a very beautiful thing. It gives you like good feeling that yes, I already got Dhanam. He says that when you hear the sentence, you have got Dhanam. You already called Dhani. You are Dhani. Have you heard Tattvamasi Mahavakya? You heard, no? You have heard? Everybody has heard. Everybody is Dhani. कोई भी लोग तो बस ब्रह्मानंद में ही चले जाते हैं. It's a nice thing. Yes, I have listened to this Mahavakya, and Mahavakya itself is Aparoksha Jnana Sadhanam. I have got Aparoksha Sadhanam. तो नेक्स्ट टाइम आपको कुछ आप जानी है तो हाँ बोलना, हाँ बोलना. थोड़ा डर लगता है ना. इफ यू आस्क यू दैट आर यू ज्ञानी, व्हाट विल यू से? नहीं, आप नहीं. कैसे बोलते हैं? हैं? हाँ. जनरली यू से व्हाट इफ आई आस्क यू आर यू ज्ञानी, व्हाट डू यू से? नहीं आप तो अभी रास्ते में है, अभी तो अभी शुरू किया. ऐसे ही बोलते हैं ना. यू से लाइक दिस, बट इफ यू स्टडीड विचार सागर, यू से यस आई एम ज्ञानी. But Dhanitva Ahankara should not be that. Because that will be cause for, some problems. Fall. I don't like to use the word fall, but that word will communicate. Therefore, I am using. Alright, so that is what he said. Prathamam Vedanta Vakyasya Shrotrendriyana Sanyoga Rupam. The first Shravanam is in the form of contact of Vedanta Vakya with your ears. That's all. And of course, this is putting very simply, but it should be preceded by the Padarthik Dhanam. Because here when we say the Shravanam is listening to the Mahavakya, it should lead to Dhanam. And Dhanam of Vakya is possible only when you have got Padarthik Dhanam. So, you have got background and you listen to Mahavakya. Let me put it this way. Having sufficient background and listening to Mahavakya, that is Prathamam Shravanam, which itself gives Aparoksha Dhanam. That he will say. Okay. Second one is Vedanta Vakyartha Vichara Rupam tu Dvitiyam. Dvitiyam Shravanam. The second Shravanam too, however, but the second Shravanam is Vichara Rupam, in the form of analysis of what? Vedanta Vakyartha. The meaning of the Vedanta Vakya. The sentences of Vedanta. So the second Shravanam is in the form of analysis of the meaning of the sentences of Vedanta. And here what comes into the picture is the interpretational problem. Because Shankaracharya ji is saying that all the Vedanta Vakyas are leading to Advitiya Brahma Jnana. All Vedanta Vakyas have got their commitment to reveal you are non-dual Brahma. Whereas Vishishta will say, no, here it is Dvaitam, he said. You, Tattvamasi means what? Tasyattvamasi. You belong to it. How can you be Brahman? You cannot be Brahman. So, Tasyattvamasi. Or some people say, Atattvamasi. You are not that. Tattvamasi Shvetaketo Atma. That Atma word is there. Before that, not Tattva, after Tattvamasi. Before. Etadatmyam idam sarvam tat satyam sa Atma Tattvamasi. So, Atma Avagraha is possible. So, Atma Tattvamasi. So, Atattvamasi means you are not that. Never think that you are Ishvara. How can you be Ishvara? Sometimes you may think you are great, therefore Shastra has to tell you are not Ishvara. Be humble. That's what the message. That's what this Vishishta Advaiti will say. So now we have to do the analysis with the help of Shadlinga, Upakrama, Upasamhara, etc. And we arrive at the right meaning of the Vedanta Vakya. That is called Vedanta Vakyartha Vichara Rupam Dvitiyam. Shravanam. The second Shravanam is in the form of analysis of the sentences of Vedanta. Alright. Etayoho Jnanasya Mukhya Sadhanam Prathamikam Shravanam Eva Natu Dvitiyam. This is a very special emphasis of Vichara Sagara here. Etayoho Shravanayoho. Of these two types of Shravana, Jnanasya Mukhya Sadhanam, the main sadhana for Jnanam is Prathamikam Shravanam Eva. The primary Shravanam, first Shravanam alone is the main sadhana. First Shravanam is what? Vedanta's Vakyas coming in contact with the organs of hearing. This itself is Prathamika Shravanam, and this is the main sadhana. So when you listen to Mahavakya some 20 years ago, if you have studied Vedanta, started 20 years ago, that time what Vedanta Vakya you listen, that is the main sadhana. So Vedanta Mukhya Sadhanam Prathamika Shravanam Eva Natu Dvitiyam. Dvitiyam is what? Vichar Rupam Shravanam is not the Mukhya Sadhanam. Jnanasya. That is not the main sadhanam for Jnanam. Why? We have seen this point earlier. Why? Because Jnanam is born by Pramanam. And Pramanam is Shastra Vakya. The Vedanta Vakya which is heard, that is Pramanam. Vichara is not a Pramanam. Vedanta Vakya is a Pramanam. And by Pramanam alone, Jnanam is born. Pramanam alone is the Mukhya Sadhanam. Therefore, Prathamika Shravanam, the first type of Shravanam alone is Jnanasya Mukhya Sadhanam, Natu Dvitiyam. But it looks like that easy one is the main one and difficult one is not main one. Because the first one is easy, no? Guru bole, you are Tattvamasi, sun liya. So that is the main sadhana. So main thing, what is presented by the Granthakara, seems to be easy. And what looks very difficult, we have to do analysis, Upakrama, Upasamhara, the shloka, first of all, you have to remember. That is the first problem. And then how many lingas are there? 6 are there or 7 there? Upakrama, Upasamhara, Abhyasa, Purvata. Then Phala, Upakrama, Upasamhara, Abhyasa, Apurvata, and Arthavada, Upapatti. And
Phala.
So 7 ho gaya. So 6 are there, 7 are there. That was the problem. So much Vichara we have to do, and Ramanuja, what he said, all this problem. Very difficult. But that is still, it is not main sadhana. That is what is speciality. Now, he says, Natu Dvitiyam. Why? Shabda Bodham Prati Shrotrena Shabda Sannikarshasya Eva Sarvatra Karanatvangi Karat. Why the Prathamika Shravanam is the main sadhanam? For that he gives the reason. Because Shabda Bodham Prati, with regard to knowledge based on words, Shabdat Jatam Shabdam, Shabdat Jataha Shabdaha, Shabdaha is also Bodha, Shabda Bodha. For the knowledge born of words, Shrotrena Shabda Sannikarshasya Eva Sarvatra Karanatvangi because of the acceptance, Angikarat means acceptance, because of the acceptance of Sannikarsha, the contact of what? Shabda. Shabda here refers to Vedanta Vakya. The contact of Vedanta Vakya with Shrotrendriya, with the organs of hearing alone, is Angikarat, is accepted as Karana. Karanatva means as Karana. Sarvatra. Sarvatra means in all Siddhanta or all Darshanas. Shabda, Vakya, Shabda here means Vakya, and Vakya coming in contact with Shrotrendriya alone is the means for Shabda Bodha. Shabda Bodhasya Karanam Kim? Shrotrendriya Sanyukta Shabda. The words connected to Shrotrendriya. In simple words, the words or the sentences heard with attention is the means for Shabda Bodha, means for words based knowledge. And Sarvatra it is said, so in Nyaya Siddhanta also there is a shloka which we might have seen earlier, but we can see in this context. Padagdanam tu karanam dvaram tatra padartha dhihi. Shabda bodha phalam tatra shakti dhis sahakarini. This shloka very beautifully presents how Shabda Bodha means the knowledge based on words. So I will use the word Shabda Bodha. For Shabda Bodha, what is the Karanam? Padagnanam tu Karanam. Knowledge of words, which is Shravana Pratyakshatmaka. Padagnanam is Shravana Pratyaksha. Shravana Pratyakshatmaka Padagdanam. Knowledge of words in the form of the perception, which is in the form of hearing. Padagdanam. Simple. Some people इतना सारा बोल देते हैं Padagdanam. Padagdanam is knowledge of words. इतना समझ लेना बेटा, क्योंकि ये समझ श्रावण प्रत्यक्ष ये सब बहुत complicated हो गया. Simple. Sometimes what happens, the idea is simple, but we give more details, no, it looks very complicated. So इसलिए फिर से वो आप original पर आना पड़ता है. So the knowledge of words is karanam. Padagnanam tu karanam. For example, if I say Nadyaha tere phalani santi. On the bank of a river, there are fruits. So this knowledge you got. The phala is there, fruits are there on the bank of river. For that, what is the karanam? The words, but not mere words. Words which are known to you. Knowledge of words. Words are there, but you did not hear, then it will not give knowledge. Therefore, padagdanam. The knowledge of words is the karanam. That is what is highlighting. The shabda bodham prati shrotrena shabda sannikarshasya eva. So, shrotrena shabda sannikarsha is padagdanam. Okay? So, padagdanam, knowledge of words. Nadyaha tere phalani santi. Nadyaha tere phalani santi. So, first of all, you have to hear the words. So, words which are known or knowledge of words, to be precise, knowledge of words is karanam. I can make it further complicated, but I don't want. So Padagdanam, why it is called? Nayamanam Padam also can be told. So for that there is a lot of Shastra. We don't want to go into that. Padagdanam to Karanam. And Dwaram Tatra Padartha Dehi. Tatra, with regard to that. Dwaram, Tatra. Tatra means in Shabda Bodha. Padartha Dehi. Padartha Dehi means knowledge of the Padartha, knowledge of the meaning of words. That also is the Dwaram. Dwaram is gateway, is a secondary means. That also contributes. Means what? I say Nadyaha Tire Falani Santi, but if you don't know what is Nadyaha, if you don't know Sanskrit language, Nadyaha Tire Falani Santi, so Padartha Di also should be that. You should know the meaning of each word. And then if you have Padagdanam and Padartha Di, then Shabda Bodham Phalam. There will be Shabda Bodha, the knowledge based on words. And Shakti Dihi, the knowledge of the power of words to convey the meaning, is Sahakarini, is contributory. Tatra, Tatra means Padarthopasthito, Padartha Dhyam. With regard to Padartha Jnanam, Shakti Di, your knowledge of the power of words to convey the meaning is also contributory. And therefore it is said, Sarvatra Shabda Sannikarsha eva Shabda Sannikarshasya eva Karanatvangi Karat. In simple words, why the Prathmika Shravanam is the Mukhya Sadhanam? Because Mukhya Sadhanam for Dhanam, because Dhanam is Shabdak Dhanam. And Shabdak Dhanam for that, Mukhya Sadhanam is Shabda, heard words. And therefore here, Prathama Shravanam is called Mukhya Sadhanam. More we see the next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti